y is directly proportional to x and y, and y equals 17.5 when x equals 21, then find y when x is 39. So directly proportional and direct variation are pretty much the same thing. So when you do, and I don't know if this is how Miss Wynn did it, but this is what we were doing in class yesterday. So y equals kx. So then you would take 17.5 equals k when x is 21. Is that right? And then you're going to divide both sides by 21, which I don't have a calculator handy. My calculator died and I still haven't bought a new one. 17.5 divided. I'm going to use my phone calculator. So then k equals 0.875. So now find y when x is 39. So you're going to plug in 0.875. And so y equals what did you get?
I'm still writing it down.
Okay.
I'm going to get out my calculator.
I'm thinking I had something else in mind. Oh, I must have had something else in mind because this time when I divided it, I didn't calculate it right. This time when I divided it, I got 8 with repeating threes. So I'm curious as to see what you got. 32.5 is what I got.
Wait, is k equal 8.833 or 8.875?
It's 833. I must have had something in my calculator. You know what I'm saying from the last time? Because when I divided it again to double check my work, I got 0.83333. So I don't either that or I just didn't type something incorrectly.
Today's 26th, right?
Correct. So if m varies directly with n, and m equals 209 when n equals 22. So m equals k n, and m is 209, and n is 22. We'll divide both sides by 22. Make sure everything's cleared out of my calculator this time. So this time we're supposed to find n. N equals 38.
That's what I got.
Cool. All right. So if y varies jointly with x and z, so that means you're looking at this joint variation that looks.
Remember it has 3 of them, like 3 numbers?
Yes, that is when there's 3 of them. Good job. Okay, so, and it says it varies jointly. Y equals 90. And then we'll have our k. And then x is 2. And I usually just put everything in parentheses. You don't have to, but it just kind of keeps each of your terms, a little cleaner. And I just go step by step. And then divide both sides by 18 to find K. So K equals 5. And then it says find X when Y equals 105. And we'll go ahead and put in our K, which is 5. And we don't have X, but we do have Z. So 105 equals 15X. Divide both sides by 15. And X equals 7. I had to go back up at the top. If C varies jointly, this reminded me, I was looking at the numbers and it reminded me, did you see the post that Miss Wynn had about numbers 10 and 11?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's go. As I posted it for my class too.
Is it because they have pi in it?
Yeah, for numbers 10 and 11, if you ask if the pi symbol is a number or variable and looking over it more, let's all say it's a number that goes with the value in front of it.
So
For
just put
instance, K equals
3.14?
2 pi. Yeah, I think it might have been 10 on the other worksheet and 11 on this one is maybe what it was, or on homework 10. Or no, that's right. The 2 pi. It's thought of as one number. So I'm sure you did fine on it. This one is direct.
Wait. You're saying that the 1/3 pi, you multiply those together and that's the number?
Yes.
Okay,
so
that's
it's direct, and K equals 2 pi for this one. And this is joint because you have two variables on this side. And K equals 1/3 pi. Just like that. Those are your answers. Just to clarify what we put on the Google Classroom. I don't know why the numbers just reminded me as we were walking through this. I wanted to clarify that in Math Lab. So that's the answers for 10 and 11. Okay?
Right.
Okay. All right. And then because I was looking at the numbers as I was going on, because there's another saw that was posted. There's a couple of other just like errors as far as they use the wrong, like they mixed up a variable, but we'll get to that. If C varies jointly as A cubed and B squared, and C, okay, so what you basically got here is C equals K, and then A cubed and B squared. So that's your initial formula. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when C is 25.6 K, and then A, whoops, my bad, didn't mean to write A, wanted to write 2. 2 cubed, and then 4 squared. So now we're going to find out exactly what K is, and then we'll go back and work the other part. So 25.6 equals K times 8 times 16. And 8 times 16 is 128. So you're going to divide both sides by 128. 0.2. So K equals 0.2. Can I erase that?
Yeah.
Okay. Find C when A is 4 and B is 7. 4 cubed is 64, and 7 squared is 49. And 49 times 64 is 3136 times 0.2. So C equals 627.2. Y varies inversely with X and Y. Oh, I always read those so poorly. And Y equals 4.75 when X is 38. Find Y when X equals 50. I always figure it's going to be joint and inverse and all that stuff. So it varies inversely. So we're working with this particular equation. And Y is 4.75. And K is what we don't know. My K's and my X's look a lot alike written in this green. When X is 38. So you're going to multiply both sides by 38. So I get 180.5 equals K. So now I'm going to plug in. So we're supposed to find Y when X is 50. So Y equals 180.5 divided by 50. So I get 3.61.
That's what I got.
So Q is inversely proportional to R squared. And Q is 30 when R is 3. Multiply both sides by 9. So K equals 270. So find R when Q is 1.2. So what I would do on this particular one is multiply both sides by R squared. And then divide both sides by 1.2. Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have 270 divided by 1.2. R squared equals 225.
15,
And the
right?
square root of 225 is 15. Because you would have to take the square root of both sides. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. R varies directly as S and inversely as T cubed. Okay, so let's figure out what that's going to look like. So it varies directly with S and inversely to T cubed. So if it's directly to S, your K would go with your S on the top of the numerator, but your T cubed would go in the denominator because it's inversely as T cubed. So now we'll take the values of what we know, which is 607.5 when S is 12 and T is 2. So 607.5, multiply both sides by 8. And I get 4,860. And now I'm going to divide both sides by 12. And I think I should get 45. 0405 is K. All right. So now, can I erase this?
Yeah.
Over here? So now we found K, and we're supposed to find R when S is 42 and T is 6. So we're going to plug in this 405 into K. And then multiply that by 42 because that's what S is. And then we've got T cubed, which that's 6 cubed. And 405 times 42 is 17,010 divided by I got 78.75.
That's what I got.
Good job. The cost to print flyers for the opening of an art show varies directly with the number of copies. If it costs $45 to print 750 copies, what will the total cost for 120 more copies? Okay, so the cost varies directly with the number of copies. So if it costs $45 to print 750 copies, you would set it up so it looked like this. So it costs 6 cents a copy. Now it says, what will the cost of 120 more copies be? So I'm assuming they just want to know what that So you could either do one of two things. You could add 120 to the 750, or just find out exactly how much it would cost to copy 120 copies and then add that to the 45. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I think it would be simpler just to do this. And get your total number of copies. If you could add, right, Miss Sparks? So 870. $52.20 is the total cost to do that many. The time it takes to fill a water tank varies inversely with the water rate of the hose. So so that means at a rate of 8 gallons per minute, the hose can fill the tank in 45 minutes. So I'm going to multiply both sides by, or I'm going to, multiply both sides by 8. So that's, K is 360. How long will it take to fill the same tank at 15 gallons per minute? $360 divided by 15 is going to be our new time. And it's 24. Minutes. Okay. Did you get the same thing?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay, the volume of a pyramid varies jointly with its height and the area of its base. A pyramid with a height of 16 feet and a base area of 78 square feet has a volume of 460 cubic feet. If a pyramid has a base area of 102 square feet and a volume of 238 cubic feet, find its height. Okay, so the volume varies with the height and the base area, which is a big B. Okay, and in this particular case, the height is 16 and the base area is 78. And the volume is 416 cubic feet. So we want to take 16 and multiply it by 78. And you get 1,248. And now we're going to divide both sides by 1,248. And you should get a repeating decimal of 0.3333, which we know to be the same as 1/3. If a pyramid has a base area of 102 square feet, we don't know its height, but we do know its cubic feet as 238. We actually can, over here, we've got 1/3 times 102. You can simplify before you multiply here. So that, because actually multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. So you've got 34H on this
H
side.
equals 7, right?
I'm sorry?
H equals 7, right?
Yes. H equals 7.
Thank you a lot for helping me out with this.
No problem.
Bye, Miss Sparks.
Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, Bryson. Do you have a question?
Actually, you already took care of them. Thank you.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, praise God. I'm so glad to hear that. Didn't have anything at the beginning either?
No, I did not.
Okay. Well, have a blessed afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.